Okay, lab 3 of the muscular system. Now I am going to go a little bit out of order here, so just bear with me. Okay, so we're going to start out with the muscles of the hip. Okay, so that's the gluteus maximus and the gluteus medius. So right up in here, we have the gluteus maximus, this piece right there, and then the gluteus medius. So despite the name, the gluteus maximus is actually smaller than the gluteus medius. Okay, this muscle in here is the caudofemoralis. You don't have to know it, it's not on the list, but just be aware that it's there. Okay, so we covered the muscles of the hip here. Now we're going to move on to the muscles of the thigh. So we have the sartorius muscle, which starts all the way up here, and it's been cut here, but you can see it continues all the way down and actually kind of wraps around the knee there. Okay, so that is the sartorius muscle there. And then we had the tensor fascia lata, which is sort of beside and maybe a little bit under the sartorius. So it's this muscle right here, the tensor fascia lata, which connected up to this thick white fascia lata, which covered all the way down in that area there. Okay. Moving along now, we have the biceps femoris, this big flap right here, biceps femoris, and over here at the end, the semitendinosus. Okay, so if we flip our cat over, and look at it from the belly view instead. Okay, there was the semitendinosus right there. Then we have semimembranosus, this next piece here, semimembranosus, and then adductor femoris and adductor longus. Okay, so it is a little bit cut up in here and it might not be abundantly clear, but this is adductor longus. Just this small muscle right next to the vein here, and then adductor femoris. So these are the adductors. They're adducting the leg, so they're moving it towards the midline like that. And then finally gracilis is this muscle here, which before it was dissected was sitting on top of the adductors and covering them like that. So this is our gracilis muscle. Alright, the quadriceps complex. In order to view that properly, you really have to cut the sartorius. Okay, so if you think about your quads, that's sort of the front of your leg there. So this is our quadriceps complex. This was our sartorius muscle. Right, it was cut through the belly, so through the middle of the muscle, and then reflected back like that. Move our fascia lata there, and then we have our quadriceps. Okay, so vastus lateralis, lateral because it's on the side, and then vastus medialis, it's on the middle there. This muscle right in here is rectus femoris, okay, rectus femoris, and if you really dig in there and lift it up and shift it to the side, directly underneath and lying deep to rectus femoris, so under in here, is vastus intermedius. Okay, and those muscles make up the quadriceps complex. Muscles of the shank. Okay, so if we locate the cat's shin bone, so the tibia, this bone right there, if we work on the flexor sides, the inside here, you can see right at the bottom here there's two very distinct tendons, that one and this one. This tendon here extends up into this very, very disappointing small muscle up there. This is tibialis caudalis. Okay, and then this next one, flexor digitorum longus, right there. And beside it, maybe a little bit behind it, this muscle right there is flexor hallucis longus. Okay, flip over to the outside or extensor side of the leg. So, tibia bone, muscle right next to it, tibialis cranialis. Next to that, extensor digitorum longus and peroneus longus, which again has a very distinct tendon down towards the ankle there. So that is peroneus longus. Peroneus tertius and brevis are kind of up in this area as well, but peroneus longus is the only one that you need to be able to identify there. And then finally, essentially the calf muscles. So we have the gastrocnemius. This is the lateral head, and the medial head. So the gastrocnemius just wraps all the way around the back there. Again, there's a medial head in the middle, and then a lateral head which can be seen from the outside. Directly underneath the gastrocnemius is this muscle here. That's the plantaris, lying directly underneath the gastrocnemius, and then the soleus. This is another muscle that's not on the list. You're not required to know it, but be aware that it's there. Okay, so we have the soleus, the plantaris, and then the gastrocnemius.